Hey everyone, welcome to Rolling Across the Pond tea break for, I think it was episode 10. Sure, I'm right. Yes. This split. I am your
Dun dun dun. Sorry.
boy wonder. I know I'm bringing it back. Bringing back boy wonder. I'm your boy wonder, Jesse, the GM, and I'm with Lee, Davida, and Luke. Sam's really busy, and hopefully he's resting right now, so he's not with us. And hopefully he'll join us next time. So we're just going to jump into the episode, because it is past midnight, and it's not that I don't care how you feel, I just know there's a lot to unpack this episode. So...
what an episode too. So
it was.
I did not see all this coming. So
well, if you listeners remember, if you just listened to it like 2 weeks ago, if you want to think about it, like the beginning was, oh, we're having a good time, we're having fun, and then all a huge shift at the end. So it was like nice funness, nothing really happening, a little bit of banter, but then it was like just complete dive into the other end. But I'm gonna try and keep us in order, and we'll start from the beginning, I guess. What did you guys, I'm just gonna say in general, when you, I want to say, first saw the sign that PJ was not okay, what was it like? What was it like for you guys or your characters? Like, was it like, oh no, of course we should think about PJ, or is it like, I don't know, what was going through your heads?
When we first got to the village?
No, when you were cooking, and PJ was like, why are we doing this? What are you doing? Let's just leave.
That's right. He got kind of like, what are you doing, sort of thing. We were kind of just relaxing because we had to heal up and rest, and food is important.
Yes, of course.
So yeah, I mean, it was a good thing he spoke up, because I was like, oh yeah, that's right, we do need to get back probably pretty soon.
That's so hilarious. Was it you or was it Hava? Like, were you like
both? Yeah.
That's so funny.
I forgot that it was kind of like, oh, we better, well, and plus you knew what was happening in the town too, so it's like the fact that you were like reminding us, like, we thought, oh, we're just heading back, it's chill, there's nothing to worry about in the Otter Village. So it's like, I think the fact that maybe as you're playing PJ, he had some sort of like ominous premonition, like
see, this is, so I want to clear this up before you think that I'm using PJ as like a plot development, like the railroading thing. I'm not. I rolled a dice. And I was like, okay, how is PJ feeling? If he rolls low, he's not feeling good. If he rolls high, he's coping. Rolled low. He rolled basically like a 2 or a 3, and I was like, okay, he is not happy. He's not going to push them, but he's not happy.
Yeah.
And that's basically how I played PJ. From him shooting that arrow at that one guard to now. Even in the future episodes, like, I roll a dice to see how he's doing, and they're all against him. And that is what formed PJ. So yes, I'm playing him in such a way, but it's all because of dice rolls.
Right.
Because I'm not a railroad person. I let the dice do the rolling, and I tell the story. I see Lee shaking his head. What do you mean?
So I think the one context we always make fun of with PJ is the fact that Keith is not here to play him. So it was probably like a whole different experience if Keith was playing him.
Oh my goodness, it would be super different.
But it's interesting because it's always been like the evolution of PJ has been, he has not been the same ever since like murdering someone a few episodes back, and like he's not the same person, and he is like completely realizing the fact that what he thinks adventuring is completely different to what actually it is in reality. And I think it's been quite interesting to see his development as a character. And also I thought it was quite funny. He was like, yeah, guys, we need to go. And I just realized that he stood out in a tree and did nothing while all of us got pretty much like down and dirty and punch everything. And he's like, we need to go and save people. And like, dude, Haver's like all but dead. I'm all but dead. Rita's like hurt. Leaf is hurt. Like, we need to heal up, or do you want us just to like just bleed everywhere and be like, oh, we're fine, trust me, we'll be okay. Like,
That's
honestly,
so
but
true,
it
yeah.
is.
I didn't think
but
about
it
that
is-
dynamic. Yeah.
But it is also quite funny because it is like, I think we bring it up on the episode as well, the fact that like we just seem to camp in the most awkward places when either people are like screaming and dying, and we're just like, we can hear in the background, it's like, oh, we're just gonna sleep, screw it. Like, what's the worst thing that can happen? Like, oh, you know.
And just the way that you point those things out to us, Jesse, too. Like, there's a fire going on, and you guys are just like,
What
Just
else?
go to sleep. Yeah.
just going to sleep here.
Go to sleep, it's fine.
Yeah. What do you think? What do you think, Luke? How did you?
Yeah, I'm kind of in between like what you thought, Jesse and Lee, where like it did feel a bit like if you were watching a movie and this happened, like with the fire in the background, and then it's like, oh yeah, there's a plot, and then we just sit down and do nothing, and just eat. It would play well, but like with D&D mechanics and like all of us were dying, I probably could have just said, oh yeah, I'm eating grass as we're walking.
Yeah. Yeah. That's true.
It's a short rest to wherever we go.
Yeah.
But
3
yeah,
hours.
I knew a lot of them should be eating and healing up before the next fight.
Yeah. It's true. Yeah. Who knows what would have happened if you didn't heal up? I mean, in reality, you showed up and you saw that the wagon was gone, and immediately I noticed that Lee, your attention was like, "Oh no,
Yeah.
chaos is coming."
My first opinion was like, well, we've just come from a place where like hell had opened up and mud monsters came everywhere. Then we just went and stopped like a random robbery, which we honestly thought was possibly linked to like what we saw. Actually, that was just looting and just randomness. So that
No,
was
I
kind
will
of
tell you,
fortunate.
it is connected.
Oh, it is connected. Okay, there we
Yes.
go. Oh, that's fun. But then, like, when you go in and it's just like, oh yeah, there's nothing there. Immediately, my mind went to, we're gonna have aliens right now, guys. It's gonna be literally like aliens. When we go back in with Marines, it's gonna be really fine, and literally not. So I was waiting for like a big fight, which never happened.
It
But
didn't happen at all.
and I was excited. It was like, oh, we're gonna go in tunnels, and I literally was like, this is aliens. This is the plot of Aliens right now. We're gonna die down here. This is
Now,
gonna be
if we
rough.
had gone down there, would we have encountered things to fight, or
You would have definitely encountered a few things. But it would have brought more clarity.
rather than like combat, right?
Yeah, rather than splitting the party.
So I don't know why we always choose the wrong option. Like, I actually thought we should have gone down the hole, but Goro was like so abstinent about that. So I was like, fine, whatever.
Yeah.
Pava is just like kind of following Goro's lead at that point. So like she wasn't going to push the point, although I think she was curious to go down there. And so
Yeah.
But that's
What was
her
that?
character, isn't it? You just want to pursue anything that's shiny
Yeah.
or different. Right? It's just-
right, exactly.
Yeah.
I have a quick, because I'm running through the campaign in my head now. When Reader hugged the tree, was that like a choice because he wanted to feel included, or was it like a choice where it's like he does this normally? Like,
No, I don't think this is a normal thing for him,
okay.
but it's mostly just like word association and
Ah.
guilt. Where it's like, oh, Leaf, oh, I'm sorry, Leaf, and hugging the tree.
Right. Oh yeah, you did say I'm sorry, Leaf, and
Yeah.
yeah. Okay. It just that just was my head. I was like,
It is a normal thing if you mean like doing things that are a bit socially weird.
sure.
That's
Sure.
the term.
Talking
Yes,
about
yeah.
socially weird, that other otter that I want to call platypus because of the feet. What was her name
yeah,
again?
fair.
Penelope.
Penelope.
Penelope Flapper.
Flapfoot. Flappy.
Yeah,
something.
Flapper or something like that. Penelope Flap. Flap, something like that.
She was pretty
Yes.
funny.
She was. Oh man, I think I was thinking about her accent, which just bled into everybody else's accent.
What was your inspiration for this character, Jesse?
Like, I was like, okay, what's a character that would because, okay, listeners, I rolled, again, I do a lot of rolling the dice to see by chance what happens, and I rolled for 3 different things that happen in this episode. That was, okay, the Otter Village is going to have something happen to it. So, I rolled for how many otters get hurt. I rolled for, if the otters were there, and I rolled for where were they if they weren't there. And basically it worked that yes, otters got hurt, but that translated to otters got hurt in the Winterhold takeover because they were not in the Winterhold or in the Otter Village. Everyone went to, well, as you can hear later on, not everyone, but a few did go to a different place, but most of them went to Winterhold, so there was no one in the village. So in saying that, I was thinking, okay, well, yeah, they all weren't in the village, so she has to not be in the village, but you needed a contact to kind of explain something, and I needed a reason for her not to make it to the Winterhold Kingdom.
Right.
And that basically the feat came about because I was like, and the accent also came about because I was like, who wants to sit next to that while having those feet next to them?
Oh my gosh.
Basically,
No,
that was my mindset when she came about.
Yeah. So the other thing I thought was pretty funny was just that the fact that like Goro was so hesitant about us splitting up at this town, like us going up, and then later on he's just like, "I'm leaving, split the party." But like just right before.
Yes.
Well, I think the lizard made my decision for me a little bit. Like straight up, like there's a bigger picture for me that like I've just met all these people. That's really cool. But also the fact that I'm still a wanted man and that this guy was randomly just going to go back home and be like, yeah, I'm just going to tell the king all this stuff. And I couldn't take any chances. But it is true because Goro is very impulsive and stupid. So it's really fun to,
It was fun.
like, he really is so weird as a character. Like, he's so down for helping people. Then immediately it just seems like a switch is just flipped and he's just sees nothing but red. He's like a shark. As soon as like he smells blood, that's it. He's done.
It's like
it's just bad.
you're like a barbarian that goes into rage, but you're not a barbarian.
Yeah.
It's pretty much it.
But you have a rage like mode. Almost.
What were you gonna say, Luke?
I was gonna say I was gonna ask if it was planned because
The
it's
split? No.
in the same episode. No, with Goro or with Lee. Because in the same episode, you're like, oh, maybe we should split. Like,
Yeah, that's
it ends
true,
with
actually.
us splitting.
So
Yeah.
the peek behind
It isn't a conspiracy. We
the
didn't
peek behind
plan
the
it.
screen, actually around this time, I was having conversation with Keith because he was like, I still want to be a part of the podcast. I don't know how because of my work schedule and whatnot. And so I was actually like, okay, how do I split the party? Because it was like, it would just make it easier.
To record separately.
Yeah, so the English people could record at different time than the Americans, and so already in my head from like when you were fighting King Darren, quote unquote, not King Darren, till this split, I was already thinking, how can I do that? Would it work? What's going on? So in my head, I was already accepting that you guys could split. So the fact that it was an option, I was like, yeah, I'm not going to push you guys to stay together because I was already thinking we might as well split because it could happen that we might need to split. It would be easier to record and whatnot.
Yeah.
But it was just dynamically wise. But it works out. I think the story is incredibly different and more, I would say more mature in itself because you guys had to split up. Like Hava's grown and stuff like that. But that's besides the point. So yeah, just a peek behind the screen. I've been planning to have split the party since like episode 3.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, so apologize for that. But it's kind of funny. It's kind of funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if I said this to you specifically. I think I said it at some point. I think that's a really good thing, like really good, losing my words, but trait, good on you, Jesse, that you're willing to split the party. There's a lot of DMs that would have been like, no, don't. I want them together. But you're like, oh, all right. If that's the way it's going to play out, then we're going to split it then.
I'll tell you right now, splitting the party, not a big deal. I would have done that. I would have been fine with that whenever. Goro and Leaf going to the Volden Kingdom.
Probably the worst thing ever.
Worst. Like, and I can't do anything about it. I just have to kill them. That's the bottom line.
It's... I think
the baby didn't like
even
that.
the baby said, "Don't kill Goro." So I'm telling you right now, guys, it's a fact. But no, I think like when you think about like how it comes about, it actually does come back to the root of the subject, which we began with, was PJ. At the beginning of the episode, PJ is like, "We need to go save the Otter Village," and he's completely changed. His whole idea of adventuring, Goro being the guy he is just kind of like, no, we need to go. The king might have done all this. So I'm going with this conspiracy. I'm going with this. And immediately he calls him out. I think that's the best part of that episode is he basically calls Goro out. Goro is trying to just basically be himself. But then immediately, like, he's only spent a few amount of months with him, but immediately calls him and just basically just puts him in his place. Like, you told me all this stuff. And now you're going the complete other side of it. And it's just like, you can literally see two sides to Goro.
Oh, yeah.
You can see literally the side of like, I'm a loyal friend, but as also is like, if you bring up anything out of my past, that is like a flip, like a switch is flipped and he just sees nothing but like that.
Yeah.
And it just seems kind of funny how like the most aggressive guy and the most passive guy at the moment basically split the party. I thought it was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Like, it was pretty fun.
Oh, man. Yeah.
And also, we got Uber with us, so I'm excited for Uber, because I think Uber is officially, unofficially all of our favorite characters, even though we're not playing him. Like, we absolutely love that guy. And he's just hilarious. He's such a weird, interesting character. It's just mad.
Yeah. No emotion. Yeah, he's awesome. Yeah. And actually, Uber being, like, when you guys were taking, like, I don't know, I played it off as in, like, yeah, so much time has passed that Uber built a dam and he caught a fish. Like,
yeah, he's literally just doing whatever. He doesn't care because he doesn't know anyone there. I thought that was amazing.
And I was just like, come on, guys, make a decision. Like, Uber's already getting bored. He's doing other things.
It's true, but that's also really funny because it's like Uber's doing this, Rita's hugging a tree because no one's giving him a hug and he wants acceptance or something, or just acting random. And like the main crew are like arguing about going places or not going places. It's just absolute chaos. It's awesome.
What I wanted, if it wasn't like copyright, I was going to put like, where in SpongeBob it says, and several hours later.
Oh yeah, 100%.
I wanted to put that in there. Yeah.
We can do those. If you want those in later ones, I've got like loads of them, so we can do that.
Dude, send me a re-put. I'll tell you when to put it in, and then we'll put it in. So if you want to go back and listen to the episode, that's now in it. Oh man, because I was just like, you guys are just talking. We need to carry on.
It's true. But it would have been easier if you just said, yeah, we turned up and everyone in the Otter Village was dead. Like, that would have been pretty insane.
I think that would have changed so much.
Yeah,
oh my gosh, yep.
It would have been insane. But no, we had to go like, we don't know where some of them are. Some of them are just chilling. Like, we still don't know where half of them are. That's the most crazy thing.
No, we know where all of them are now. Like, we do.
Oh, okay, that's good. It shows how much I know. But like, I'm hoping they're alive or dead. I don't know. It's good, fun times.
And I think I wasn't too helpful in the whole. Like, I knew you guys were more D&D savvy than I was, so I was like, oh yes. And then Reader got distracted by the dam because he's like, oh, nice work, master.
Yeah, it's a bit difficult, and I can't, be like, I say I can't, and I did anyways, but like I tried not to push, like, let's just do things, guys. No, and listeners. Don't hold your breath. Hava and Reader, I chose the wrong split. It needed to be they needed to be split because future episodes, spoiler alert, they take immense amount of time because these guys are like unraveling everything.
As
I love it.
I would say, as being the two like most inexperienced players in this particular campaign.
Yes,
probably made it take a lot longer than it needed to because
it's so funny.
we don't have that much D&D
sure.
experience, so
No, it's just
like,
funny.
there's just not we don't know what to expect, so it just takes us forever to make any decisions. And of course Reader's character just is not going to be that sort of type. I mean, he's kind of
Yes.
I mean, him and I both kind of came up with characters that allow us to be ignorant,
Yeah, but yeah.
because it helps to learn D&D with a character who is a little bit ignorant
Sure.
in general, just because
Yeah.
as we learn, as our characters learn, we are learning together in a sense,
Definitely.
you know, so it's like it helped. And I do think that splitting it did help me learn a lot more about
That's
like
true.
D&D and
Yeah.
just like logistics and decision making and all this kind of stuff, much more than had we probably stayed together.
Definitely. Yeah, you've definitely changed, but that's future talk.
Yeah.
Yeah, so when I was like, yeah, nothing's happening, I did notice, Lee, you were like, why not? Let me kill something.
I feel like it's really funny because I was like, I wanted that lizard guy to live, but then obviously we let that the handbag, should we call her, or luggage?
Yes.
We haven't really made we didn't get a name out of her, so we just called her
No.
luggage, didn't we? Which was pretty funny.
Handbag.
We never really followed that up. Obviously, we have like Leaf's clone dying in the most dramatic way possible, and we were like, it's just an entity, you know, it's not real. We had that argument last week, or the last time we had a tea break, which I'm still sticking by because come on, guys, it's not real. It's a marble.
Well, none of
magic
this is
thing.
real.
Yeah, none of it's real, but you know, magic marble malarkey, whatever. But like, it was quite funny because it was like then we reiterated back to that guy and why I left him alive, and he had completely just given up hope. And then obviously Jess is so good at his DM job, he knows what buttons to press. And because I have to follow my character flaw to a T, I hate it sometimes. Where I'm just like, I don't want to kill him. But then as soon as he brings up, Dad, you're wanted, need to kill you. Like, I'm just like, these are all my trigger words on my character sheet. Like, he just knows what buttons to press. And I'm have to literally go to like great white shark, eyes roll back. I'm just going to eat, you know, it's just, that's what's going to happen. And yeah, I didn't really want to kill him, but you know, I put him out of his misery. Have like, if we all forget this, like Hava murdered the hand the most grotesque way at the moment. I just fought the guy and blew his knee out. Like Hava murdered like the hand.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
she basically hostiled the person, like any horror movie, like death
True.
ever. Like
It's true.
burnt her alive as well. Like she's just like insane. So, you know, makes Goro look like a saint, to be honest.
But Goro, you did, or Lee, you're, I think Goro said, you know, I didn't want, like, I almost didn't kill him, and then he brought up the fact that he was okay with them killing me, and I was like, so you actually, like, me as Jesse, like the GM, not as PJ, I was like, well, wow, you actually were, because I thought the entire time you were going to do it, so that's why I was like, there's no talking him out of this, I just need to let it happen.
Yeah.
But it's interesting that I didn't
Well,
even
you
think,
know
like,
what buttons to press, which I hate. Like,
Yeah.
and I think it's a good role of a GM, especially if you're going to role play or do anything. Like, if you know people's weaknesses or their like strengths, you play to them. And it's horrible for me because it's like anything. You just basically just like, I think you know it. Like anything with my past trigger word, stealth trigger word, like anything that I'm crap at or I know my character's not good at. I'm just like, right, I'm doomed. This is bad. Like, it's not good. It's not good for the group. It's just going to be bad.
Yeah.
So we'll see how it gets on from here, basically.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I thought, sorry,
No,
I was
no,
just
good.
going to say,
I was going to transition, but
I was too. I just thought it was funny that when we left the Outer Village and we were headed back, how I thought that we were trying to go over after the handbag alligator.
Yeah.
and everybody else was thinking, oh, we're going after the lizard.
Yeah.
And so I was just like, I was like, yeah, let's get this alligator. And then we're like, no. And then you see the lizard. And then I was like, wait, I thought we were looking for the alligator.
Yes.
And so I was like,
Yeah.
there was just like that level of confusion.
the problem, so I would have let you do either, but the problem with the handbag, listeners, I never made a name for her. because you sent Wind after her, and we did those checks and everything, she's already a day ahead, so it would have been really difficult for my brain to have to like backtrack, like, okay, well, actually, you do beat Wind while you're doing that, like.
Plus, we need to have a person who survived our onslaught for further plot development later on in life. Like, hey, we might never stumble across her again. I really want to stumble across the coffee and daggers guy if he ever got out of there. Like, there's certain characters I wish will come back. Like, I think that's the best thing about role playing.
We shall see.
Yeah, like,
did he have a name? I can't remember.
I never said a name.
No, so Jess is a really good DM. He doesn't give everyone names, so it's great writing, and also so he doesn't have to remember things.
Yeah,
it's great. I absolutely love it. I'm just like, he's not giving names. Brilliant. That's DMing.
And Hav is always like, "What's your name? What's your name?"
Yeah, that's 100% true.
Hi, I'm Hava. What's your name? But
too much for my brain sometimes. I can remember faces. I can barely remember voices. I can't. True.
Your voices do make me laugh when I edit it, because I'm just like, oh yeah, he just like gives up halfway through. That's fun. Like, because it is funny, because it's like, I'm gonna do this, and then I'm just like, at some point, I would be like incredibly like, I don't know what's the word, like precise, and just go back and like write what I write, and then just re-record something to put in.
Oh, so.
But I'm just a snob. Like, that's just my perfectionism just going through a bit. So.
No, this podcast is about amateurs doing it. So.
Yeah, we'll just do whatever. It's just like, we'll go with a southern draw, and then everyone from the Art Village all of a sudden becomes someone from the deep south. It was great.
Yeah. I think. On the way. Thinking back, like, okay, so when you guys were talking about the bad guys, I was like, okay, or the two lizards, I was like, okay, well, what's happened to the other one? And I was like, well, he was attacked, so I had to roll. I was like rolling like crazy, and he did amazing, and that's why he was still close by, with the attack, and he didn't die. Just to let you listeners know, like, he wasn't passed by. It wasn't like a.
There's just some little Easter eggs put in there, like I have a daughter and all this other stuff. And when I realized editing this and going, I murdered him. Hopefully his daughter isn't a trained assassin. That'd be great. Like, hopefully she just doesn't even know about her dad and stuff. So.
We shall see.
Well, I think just the decision the decision to split, and each of our characters, like why we ended up deciding, like, is kind of, an interesting point, I think, to discuss, just because, like, Hava did not want to split the party. Like, she did not want Gora to leave. Like, she was trying to get him to stay, she was trying to be nice to him, and he was just blowing her off, but she, like, understood that, like, he was just, like, kind of hard to, when he gets like that, she knows, like, okay, I know he's not going to be responsive, but I'm still going to try, and I'll give him this giant pyramid, like, because I know he, like, thought that was super awesome and stuff like that. So she's like trying to like, subtly just be like, hey, if you got to go your own way, like, come back, like, this is you and we're still cool. Like,
because it was kind of hard, because it was like, I just wanted to blow off, like, PJ, but then it's like, I'm good friends with Hava, but, like, my character's already fuming. I don't want him just to break character and just be like, put, like, a hand round Hava and just be like, you'll be fine, you'll be good. Because it just seems like this guy literally has a split personality disorder.
No, I'm glad
he didn't.
It worked out, and I could still see, like, or like your reluctancy in a, like, just in your hesitation, rather than, like, you don't actually have to say words or do actions, but just in your hesitation and in that kind of thing. It's like Hava could see that, like, now we're still cool.
Now, listeners, if you are a Patreon supporter, you will know that that encounter was less dramatic than it actually seemed.
Oh yeah,
because there was a lot of I'll miss you, Goro, and then to stop. I want to turn around. No, I can't do that. What? You can have a marble. Okay. What marble should I get? And so what? So if you want to listen to those things, there's a chunk of things missing from this episode.
Oh yeah, there's a huge conversation. I remember the conversation. Like, how do we end this without being like douchebags to each other? Even though, like, you know, PJ's. We're gonna just be honest. If you're a fan of the Goro, you all know that PJ is basically the puss of the group. So he was just being honest. And we can just blame we can't blame Keith. We can just blame Jesse for turning PJ into the character he is now. Like,
I'll take it. I'll take it.
I want to see. I would love to know what Keith honestly thinks. Like,
yeah.
Yeah. Oh, and the other thing that I and Hava probably were very frustrated about. Too bad Sam's not here, but Leaf. Oh my gosh, why did he have to go grab that medallion and then like, we just put you out of your misery? Like, he's just like,
so true.
And he kept on saying, no, it's a mercy killing, and like he went on and on and on, and I was just like, shut up, Leaf.
Seriously, I was like, what benefit has this done? Sam, why?
He really wanted to distract him so I could just go behind him and just like snap his neck. I'm pretty positive he wants that. But like, I'm not that higher level just to go like, I'm just going to punch you and just like, I'm pretty positive at one point there is a move that I can learn. I was talking to someone, I think it was like 15 or 16, where if I punch someone and they don't make a save or whatever, they literally, their heart stops.
Whoa, that's cool.
And literally, like, that's it. That's them over. So I want to get to that level if I survive. And basically, Jess has made this really bad boss, and I can just be like, I do this punch, it's dead. Its heart explodes like in a bit, you know. But yeah, it is. I don't know, because I feel like it's really fun when we have like characters that are just like tortured, because I feel like PJ has seen some stuff, but he hasn't adapted to it. Hava is a murderous rampage machine. We've seen a bit of Rita, which I'm really excited to see more going forward.
Yeah, it was a bit of a... I actually don't know how this encounter is going to go, and I don't know where it's going to go from here, so I'm going to let you guys take over. I don't know if you noticed that I really did step back most of it, and I was just playing a lot, like, I was just like, sure, yeah, go, yeah, okay, this is what they said. I even, like, folded... and like after Rita just approached the guy, he was just like, Jesse was tired, and I think I was just like, the guy's tired, so he's just gonna divulge everything.
Oh yeah, 100%.
It was helpful.
It was very helpful, but I guess that's because also we didn't ask all the right questions and stuff like this. But also, whenever we seem to ask questions, we murder the people before they actually give us questions. Exactly. So yeah. But then I guess it's like a butterfly effect. Obviously, there was some encounters. If we went into the Otter village, there was probably something going to happen there. If luggage didn't escape, there was probably some sort of different outcome to that.
Yeah.
But like, I think for me and Sam, like, I can't really speak for him because he's not here. But like, we were talking like off the cast, saying like, we know where our goal is. Like the kingdom, the king is like, I know the king is shady as hell. This proves that he's shady as hell. Let's go confront him. And now that we hilariously have the hand in a bag, literally the funniest thing ever. And that's literally our key through, like, to see him. Like, we're probably just marching off to our murder, which Jess is always smiling about because he's trying to kill us all the time, Sam and me.
All the time.
But it's kind of interesting because it's like our pathways have gone like two separate ways, but like there's definitely like spearheaded by some of the characters.
Sure.
And we're unfortunately dragging them along to either their doom or to their amazingness.
Yeah. And listeners, I am kind in some ways, and I have told the players, even though they're split, and their encounters are meant for 4 players, I will provide them with either an NPC or a guest to help out. So that way it is still balanced, even though this campaign is not balanced in the player's favor anyways, but they at least have more of a chance. So look forward to in the future for more NPCs and all that stuff.
Yes, we do appreciate the NPCs and for sure.
We do. I feel like the funniest thing as well, just to quickly interject, I feel like this is definitely a Game of Thrones kind of episode. It started on a high note and then ended on a real sour note.
Oh, yeah.
And we'll see where it goes from there, because Jess wanted it to be like, this kingdom definitely holds no punches. And it's quite funny how we all were friends and now immediately have gone like, we're all idiots, so we're all splitting up. And that's the first thing they always say in D&D, never split up the party.
Mm-hmm.
They always say that. So,
any last minute thoughts? Any?
Yeah, there was a strong divide between what Reader would have done and what I want, or I wanted.
Okay.
Because I don't really know about Lee, just personally. I wanted more time with him and hang out and get to know him. Sam and I are friends, but a lot of our time spent together is this game. So I'm like, I don't want to break up, because then it's gonna be, then it might just be that like, oh, that it's two different half campaigns now, and I'll spend time with them. But Readers, like, they went 100% like Goro just straight up murdered that person, tricked that person, and then killed them. And Leaf just kind of jumped in and grabbed the shiny thing and then started threatening the person I was just trying to talk to.
Yeah.
But Reader would definitely not want to join them. Like,
yeah, I do remember you saying that in the episode. Is like, I'm glad you spoke up because I didn't know, I couldn't choose them, basically.
Yeah, and that's why I had to like be like, okay, the whole reason why I'm doing this is not because I want to break. Like, I have to give it strong justification about like not accepting of this. I also feel bad because it was Goro and PJ on two separate sides, and Sam went. I'm trying to remember if I went first or if Sam did.
Sam definitely was like, immediately, I'm going with Goro.
Yeah. So Leaf and Goro on one side. Hava was kind of on the fence, right, Davida?
Yeah.
So if I just said, oh yeah, I'll join them, I'll join Sam and Goro, then we might not have to have split up.
Maybe.
Because Hava would have joined them and PJ
would have gone alone.
Yeah.
He would not have turned around.
No, I'm glad you did choose that, because like honestly, Hava would have chosen PJ anyway. Like, it was just me, Davida, who didn't want to do it. So like, but I knew in the end that she would have had to choose PJ, honestly. Yeah.
Yeah. And I love, I as Uber, I was like, Uber doesn't know who to choose. He's going to wait for somebody to choose him.
Yeah.
And so he was like, I'm still here.
Yeah.
Whoever says my name first can have me.
100%. But also, we want a werebeaver. Like, come on, seriously.
Yeah.
We want
Definitely.
2 units and a trickster. Like, come on.
Definitely.
That's straight up Guardians of the Galaxy shenanigans right there. We love it.
Yeah, cool.
It is. I can understand and definitely relate with that, Luke. Like, it's kind of interesting because you don't want to do things, and then it's like, how can this benefit everyone else at the same time? Like, I didn't intend to split up the group, even though we've had conspiracy theories now, like, are gonna probably fly. But I feel like it was just obviously with the last couple of episodes of like PJ and all of us like playing back to back all these episodes as well, in like for recording as well, for like a lot of us. These sessions were pretty much like back to back to back to back. Like we just had a night where we just did everything at once, practically, and just realizing like how much of a liability like PJ has become. And we all can say that we love PJ as a character, but like his actions and his doubt is kind of like, maybe he's not cut out for this. But at the same time, it was going to ruffle feathers, and I think Goro just had enough. He just snapped, and it was going to come to like the surface at some point, whether it be me, whether it be Hava, whether it be Leaf, whether it be Reader, just call him out on it, because and we also didn't talk about the 2 horses. Like, we glanced over that and completely forgot about those horses, and we were just like, oh yeah, how are the otters? Like, literally, we didn't care. Like, we built up these horses like amazing, and then we realized, when they get to the village, they said they're just gonna jog on. So like, they've got their own side series probably coming, guys, in the not too distant future. Seriously. Yes,
all my NPCs have their own spin-offs.
Write fanfic fiction for those two and their adventures after leaving, please.
Yes. Yeah. So yeah, that's basically the episode. We still are friends. We're still doing it. There's
Yeah, I just felt bad for Luke because he literally did just start with us, and then it's like all of a sudden, all right, because I at least had gotten to know Lee and Sam, so before, then it's like split off.
Yeah.
But
yeah, so it is what it is, but it's been great, and hope you guys love the arc, and we can't wait for what's gonna happen, and it's just a craziness after craziness. So yeah, stay tuned.
Yeah, it'll be fun to see what happens with a necklace on your side. So.
There's a lot of madness. Like, we're only a few episodes ahead, but there's a lot of fun stuff that happened already. Like,
we're a lot of episodes ahead.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, until next time, thanks for listening. All right.
just check our social medias basically and send fan art. So
yeah, social medias,
do that.
Do voice messaging, emails, all of that. You guys know the spiel. All right.
If you're looking for prompts, draw, now that we've described them, Rage. What we look like in Rage.
Yes, yeah, the Rage modes. All right. Bye.
Bye, guys.